And we're live. What's up, everybody? Number one comment, Cody Knopfenagel. I hate this title. Yep, Coach's Corner. Do people care about CrossFit anymore? Nice little clickbait title. There's a few reasons why. We got one watcher, and that's Mr. Cody Knopfenagel. So we'll wait just a little bit before I give the intro. But how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Stellar.
What's going on, Tyler? How are your athletes been? How is it? How is the end of summer? How's it going?
It's going really well. I was just talking to Melissa before we hopped on. Her back is doing great, which is lovely. She's feeling like an athlete again, which is nice.
Just describe feeling like an athlete. What does that feel like? Heather, you could chime in too. Anyone?
Well, I was literally just going to say, funny that you brought that up because I was
like
watching her in the gym today. I mean, she was pulling from the floor and then doing hang stuff, but I was like, dang, she's like got that barbell loaded. She like looks good. Like, I literally had that thought process today. So that's cool that you said that.
Did you ask her about what feeling like an athlete feels like? What do athletes feel like?
To be fair, I said that for her, but she has said that like it's nice to be doing CrossFit again instead of just walking and biking.
Yeah, who are you calling people?
CrossFit.
Oh yeah, CrossFit. Okay, he's just an AI model. He's got to be, or she, him, whatever. Has to be, because there's no way that CrossFit is on all of these podcasts commenting. An AI model. That's what it is now. I'm on to you, CrossFit.
Or he or she just like hates his job.
That's why he's got, or she is on all the podcasts and can comment and pull the information. It's a chat bot.
Yeah.
All of the history and data to comment.
Tristan's gonna be so disappointed.
On Sevon's. I figured it out, everybody. I figured out who CrossFit is. It's an AI model pulling.
We are CrossFit.
We are CrossFit. Pulling all of the information and just hearing our words and then coming up with the comments. There's got to be some truth to that, I bet. What's up, Harley? Arsenal Health.
Hello.
Sick shirt.
It's a shirt.
It's going.
It's going.
Who was I talking to about Arsenal Health recently? I was trying to get someone to go into your gym.
Perry just went and dropped in there a couple weeks ago.
Perry's a nice guy.
Yeah, he was pumped to come check your space out.
Nice. That's good.
Sick. Well, our I don't know if you read our title, but it's Do People Care About CrossFit Anymore? This is really good that Harley's on because he is in a alternative fitness facility that does CrossFit. That's what I'm going to call them from now on. Alternative fitness facilities.
Are you allowed to say that they do CrossFit?
Dude, they try to say shit like that all the time. And I'm just like, you can't say that.
Yeah.
I cut them down so hard. I'm like, nope, we can't say that.
But who's coming for them? You know,
like who's going to actually enforce it anymore? They don't send cease and desist anymore.
They still will.
They still will. But anyways, like for context, like we did an overview video about the different class offerings, and the other main coach, the guy who runs the strength, he was basically going to like drop a handful of buzzwords saying like, if you do this activity, this will bridge your gap and fill in this deficiency. It can benefit all sorts of people, no matter your like career goals, etc. And he dropped the words CrossFit and there was like one other thing, and I was like, yeah, you should probably just drop those out of your speech. I was like, you should probably just
that part.
No,
yeah,
just
like, probably just cut it out.
Name. Just
no, I was just
would get that mad, honestly.
No, it's more of just like the honoring the affiliates. Like it's not that I don't want to pay homage to the methodology, because what I'm writing in those classes is a linear CrossFit program, right? So like, is it true to the nature of variance on a week-to-week basis? In the overarching outline, no, because it's relatively repetitive and linear, but like, am I still utilizing the movement patterns and loading and energy system training that I learned through doing years and years of CrossFit training? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not going to market that we are selling CrossFit, you know? You were selling CrossFit classes.
Mm.
Well, I thought about this today because we had pull-up skills for class for coaching, and I went over my class by 2 minutes, and I almost went. I know. Go ahead, boo me. It's fine. Turn on your speaker and boo me. I came over to Heather and I was like, dude, the class was already done. I went and did some other stuff, came back. I was getting ready to work out. And I was like, man, the class was just a shit show today. I just whatever was on our program for that day, I just threw it out the window because the varying degree of people in there to work on the pull-ups. And I even, when I programmed, I had beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then health pulling option. And they're all set on the same 12-minute EMOM format every 2 minutes for the stuff. And I went over all the stuff. I brought my grips out. It was like a gymnastics clinic. And I was like, this is what, because I knew who was coming to class. I looked at the thing and I was like, I'm going to coach the shit out of this. But what that did turn that into was there was almost no need for the conditioning we had, except for the fact that I paired the pull-ups with the toes to bar so we could have more hanging from the bar practice and volume after we did a bunch of skills.
Dude, you just explained the class workout I had them do yesterday.
That's because we're the smartest people in the world. Okay.
Oh my God.
But here's the difference though, is that our gym, half the people didn't do toes to bar. They just did GHDs and or a sit up.
That many GHDs? How many GHDs you guys have?
No, it's only 48. It was
48 GHDs?
No, how many
machines do you have?
No, 4. But we just spaced people out across an EMOM.
I was like, damn.
For the conditioning, we just had them do EMOMs.
I've seen CJ do her workouts in the gym. I've seen 48 GHDs.
No, we have 4 GHDs.
Who goes that ham on GHDs instead of bikes?
Instead of
and 48.
Oh,
no, I'm saying if you buy 48 GHDs, when you could have gotten bikes or barbells.
No, that was. Let's not get sidetracked off of just a misunderstanding of what.
Be a core competency. You know what I mean? Anyways,
keep going.
I coached the it was so much fun, and everyone's where they're at, and I had 2 people openly say, "I'm very discouraged. This is frustrating," and I was like, "Okay, 100% it is, and that's why we're doing these things, and that's why we have the health option." And I preface everything, and actually was able to turn around, how they felt about the situation, and got them a win, and really helped them with their kip swing and some other things. And we got this guy Keith, where I joke, when anyone in our gym comes to class, regular class, and they're over the age of 60, I immediately say that they're 100 years old to everyone, constantly. I'm like, Keith's 100 years old if he can do it. And he was like, actually, I think I'm 150. Just FYI, I was like, way to play into it. But even him, because he's 70, 70.
I don't think he's that old. I think
he's old.
I thought he was
we were
65,
talking about.
But anyways.
No, he's in the 70s.
Oh, shit.
And he was having a good time. He was even doing hanging knee/straight leg lifts for the toes to bar. It was great. But yeah, it was took so much time on the skill and could have just easily deleted the conditioning and just did that for the hour with all these people and got a huge benefit. But what made me think about that was other training programs. And a couple weeks ago, I saw Burn Boot Camp was doing, I don't even know what they call it, but you know how Orange Theory has the Hell Week and they do all the tests and they have the 500 meter row.
Yeah.
These guys know, Harley doesn't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, Orange Theory does Hell Week and you got to do all these challenges. One of them's the 500 meter row on the water row, or one of them 5K on the runner, whatever. But anyways, they have the burn. I don't even know what it's called, but it was basically, I saw people doing it. They were doing dumbbell push jerks, shoulder overhead, and farmer's carries. And they had a judge counting them and judging them. And the only reason why I know this is because somebody I follow who used to do CrossFit was doing it, which is totally fine. And I'm glad people are doing that. But then it made me think about how all these other fitness programs are starting to integrate competition challenges. That's clearly a CrossFit workout. You go on .com. I think we've done a shoulder overhead farmer carry workout for Send It one time.
Yeah, not that long ago.
I think it was 50, 30, 20 or whatever. And then the 100-foot farmer carry. Yeah, I remember doing that because my grip blew up. I was dead. Shoulders were smoked.
Pressing and farmer carry is violent.
Yeah.
I vividly remember dropping into a gym and the workout was bench press, farmer carry, double under. And I remember failing bench press at 135, given it was a long time ago. And I want to say it was a lot of reps, but it compounds so fast through
Right,
the
it was strict
pressing
press.
and shoulder girdle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So
well, I'm curious, like, why you perceive that as like not a good class. Like, I mean, I know.
No, what I'm saying is that there's so many fitness programs doing a lot of like pseudo CrossFit things.
Yeah,
And
it's gamifying fitness.
Yeah. And then I'm over here trying to do an hour long of pull-ups. And I was like thinking to myself, you know, like obviously it's super uncomfortable for people. Then I was thinking, like, do they even really need this? And like inside, I'm like, yes, they do, because a vertical pull is the most challenging pull that the human body can do. And if we can build that up, other types of pulling through the range of motion in the shoulder are much, much easier. And so, like, yeah, why not do it? Also, like what Harley just said of gamifying fitness, if you can build your calisthenics, aka your gymnastics, you control your body weight, which helps you then control your external loads, which then allows you to play with your fitness and gamify it a little bit more. Not saying that you have to do like the kibbing pull-ups and butterflies, but doing strict pull-ups. Yeah, I mean, there's the CrossFit workout. Was it Nicole? You run 400 max strict pull-ups, 5 rounds. So like,
well, it just says max pull-ups. And then so a lot of people have given themselves rhabdo in that workout because they're idiots and don't do it strict.
I think was it originally strict? I've only done it as strict.
I think that like it just says pull-ups.
Okay. So anyway, well then I gotta try it one day with kipping.
Yeah, just do like a chill like.
But yeah, I was going back and forth, and then when I went to work out, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't want to work out right now, and I'd like hate CrossFit. I was like annoyed with it all, and then I proceeded to do power cleans, and I was wondering how many people don't care about CrossFit anymore, because like with the rise of High Rocks, these other training programs, but then you see like the example of Burn Bootcamp doing CrossFit, like to the point where they have a judge judging somebody. It's crazy.
So the issue is, and I've heard this, had a good conversation this past weekend, and I heard like some good perspectives along lines of what you can get for the same dollar elsewhere. And I think that is a driving factor when you look at the quality of service and or facility through a lot of the average boxes. And I think that people are kind of tired. It may not be the methodology itself, but they are realizing that they can go to Lifetime and get a mixed modal class with a pseudo mediocre coach and have access to all of the amenities for $150 to $175 a month and get so much more for their dollar. The only thing you don't get is the community side of it, and ideally a connection with a consistent coach who truly like loves you and the community. And I think that is where a lot of people have gone. And I think that that's probably due to a variety of their own reasons, right? Like everyone can rationalize it for themselves, but it could be through the varying socioeconomic events that have taken place in the last 5 years with CrossFit to varying degrees. It could be a smaller gym literally just going out of business. It could be conflicts and or all of the social turmoils that you hear about happening within relationships at CrossFit gyms. It could be that maybe their CrossFit gym isn't that nice in general, and maybe their coaches are mediocre and they realize they can get a lot more or the same elsewhere. It's really unfortunate, but I do think that the trend, the love for it isn't enough in some people's mind to continue supporting it. And I think that's happening. Whether or not it's the direct competitive athletes or the people who want to compete and pursue higher levels of it. But I think it's like more, that's what's happening within the average members.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I think that a lot of people I think people that like CrossFit and enjoy CrossFit. They care about it because of like the performance markers of CrossFit and what that does. Cause you can go anywhere, like Harley said, and like get a mixed modal program. And like most of those people are just like doing it because they want to get sweaty and there's like fitness. Right. And so like, and they're going to get benefit out of that. But I like
would you call, I have a bias against those individuals. Would you think that, would you say those people are either uneducated or illiterate in fitness to believe that? Is that why they do that?
Potentially.
Because that's my stance. I think they just have,
they don't prioritize fitness to learn about it. Does that make sense? Like it's not enough of a priority in their life to actually like care about the ins and outs of it. And they would probably say something along the lines of, that's why I go to the gym, is so I don't have to think about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just want to go show up to the class, work hard, and leave.
Yeah, those people I'm fine with. It's the people like what Heather's saying that would like, maybe they go to a CrossFit gym for a little while and then they go to like a burn boot camp, or they go to like the LA Fitness or whatever. And then they keep doing CrossFit and they just pull random workouts, or they sign up for some blog program.
Yeah. But I think like I saw a post the other day. I want to say Adrian Conway posted it. He said something about like, it doesn't matter. Like it's not about the program. It's about the coaching and what's happening in the class and applying the program to people.
Yeah.
And I think that when you're going to a gym and you're actually getting those coaching, you get people excited about it. They want to invest in it. They want to learn about it, et cetera, et cetera. And there's people that go to CrossFit gyms, we know this, that don't really get the coaching, right? They're still just running programs in the class. Mm-hmm. And then those people are like, oh, okay, well, like, why am I paying X amount of dollars? I can just go and follow this blog program and go to 24-hour fitness, blah, blah. And they're getting the same value. So I like to think that the people that are coming to CrossFit and enjoy and want to stay and do CrossFit is because they're getting quality coaching and they're understanding like why they're doing what they're doing. They're progressing, they're seeing. And that kind of goes into the conversation we talked about today. It's like with Meg, where it was like, do you get mad when you feel like you're not getting or progressing in your fitness, right? Like you were asking that question today.
Look at Renata's comment.
Well, I'm going to pull up Cody's first because I coached last Wednesday. We have a pretty good High Rocks program. I never coach it. I write the programming for it. We got a lot of people. We got the champ, Mr. Jose.
Yeah.
Doubles, 45, 49. Anyways, we had a lot of people do well. And I coached it too. And like Cody's saying that when he coaches the High Rocks class, the High Rockers care about CrossFit because they bring it up a lot. And maybe it's because we're CrossFitters coaching High Rocks. And they do know that like Jordan and some of the other people we have, some of the guys could definitely 100% like whoop Cody and I in running, no problem. But like they know, they see the other stuff. Like I was demoing the sled push and pull and they're like, dude, that's how you do it. And so like, it is interesting because the people doing the High Rocks program do ask a lot of questions about CrossFit. And then we also have like CrossFit going on right before their High Rocks class starts. We got a bunch of one-on-one people. So they have that like intermingling and intermixing of the different modalities. And I do think because they love competing in High Rocks and they love the running aspect of it, they do know that they're missing pieces of their fitness by only doing CrossFit. And they have
High Rocks.
Yeah, the High Rocks people. And they have said that openly to us. That's why I can say that. Like, they're like, yeah, we know that we're not as strong or as skilled as you guys. And like, there's a lot of areas that we could improve just generally, but because all of them come to us because they want to race and they want to race well, or some of them have raced and they like got their teeth kicked in and like, I want to get better. So they're going to focus on that for a little bit. And I was saying the other day, I was like, High Rocks is great, like general conditioning. I told people today in the class when I was doing the pull-up stuff, I was like, the reason why a lot of people go towards something like High Rocks is because they don't want to do the gymnastics we're doing right now. They don't want to spend the time doing it. And like the argument from what I told them is like, they're missing out on a huge neurological component that creates longevity of health, of like coordination and just building synapses, dendrites in your myelin sheath to help you live a longer, healthier life. So like, we still need to do these things, and there are ways you could do it in like a High Rocks program or other training programs, but CrossFit uniquely has the G out of the GMW that hits all those characteristics pretty well. So like, it's a funny thing. I was just wondering if people cared about CrossFit anymore, if they care about the doing the actual training. Whereas some of you guys hit the nail on the head of like, it's not that they don't care about the training. They just either like burnt out, the price, the amenities, those types of things.
Yeah.
Let's see let's pull up Mike Hughes and we'll pull up Renata's. The hype of CrossFit is declined, but Hyrox is great lead gen opportunity for CrossFit gyms to get new members. I think so. But then I asked the question of like, okay, Hyrox has been around since 2018. They started making affiliates. We're a Hyrox affiliate. And not that like Rochester, New York's a big area, but I've looked around. There's not a single gym in the US as of yet that is just a Hyrox gym. So
really?
Yeah. So like where it's Hyrox only.
Mm.
So it's also interesting too that it's not viable enough to like just hold water on its own.
Well, what do you think? I mean, there's a ton of people that are racing though. So like, what do you think these people are doing? Like they go to CrossFit
gyms.
Okay.
They do what Harley
or
said.
they're just making up their own
Anytime
programs and going to
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, there's
you think?
100,000 Hyrox programs out there in the world.
Oh, okay. And they're just like going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this the comment from Renata you wanted? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's leading into what Heather was saying. It's piggybacking off of what I was alluding to in the reasons why people leave the gyms, which is either a lack of care from the coach, a lack of care, cleanliness, and or quality of facility. And I said like, oh, people like would probably argue that they're just there to like get in, get out, not think about it. They don't have to learn about the fitness. And what I was going to say about Renata's comment is that people will get a good workout doing a blog, doing some mixed modal class. Ideally, if it's a thoughtful program that is built around sound principles of training. That said, what we can do better in a group style class that's driven around a community-based model, aka CrossFit or the gym I work at, etc., is that we can provide connection and, to Heather's point, quality coaching that is going to elevate their experience, shorten their learning curve, and ideally explain the value of what we're doing, to Todd's point, with gymnastics, building coordination, proprioception, improving neural function, etc. Go ahead.
I was going to say, think about even the workout Todd talked about that he coached today in the class. It's like if you were just to be in some other random gym and you saw that program and you couldn't do pull-ups, like what would you have done? You probably would have looked at that and been like, well, I can't even do that. Or I'm just going to like make up some like that. I feel like that's what people would do.
And for Tuesdays at our gym, it had been for the last 6 weeks, 12 minutes of gymnastics skills. I think they did some like ring skills for 3 weeks. And then we did some kipping progressions for a few weeks. And literally people just stopped showing up on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
No, like literally, like they just stopped showing up because exactly what you just said. They saw it on the board. They're like, I can't do that. I don't understand that there is a way to progress or regress the skill. So therefore, I'm never going to show up for that day. There's like one guy I know who has like a shoulder injury. So he's like, I've been avoiding that day because of specific injury limitations. That's rational. I get it. But everyone else who's like, I don't even want to work on hanging from the bar. It's like, well, that's a huge problem. And it's like, you're never going to improve that quality.
Yeah. Well, I know this is something that like Todd says a lot or like thinks about a lot, but it's like, what can we do as coaches to get members to look at a program like that and that day and be like, heck yeah, I'm going to go because I know I'm going to get the best coaching and I'm going to learn the most out of this.
Right.
No, and it's like, I think like Todd's always
should have came at 9 a.m.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. And it's like to get them to think the other way of just like, I'm going to get so much value out of this because like, I know X person is coaching this class or whatever, as opposed to like looking at it as like, well, I can't do pull-ups, so I'm just not going to come.
I was speaking with one of our clients and she was like, oh, like I went to my physical therapist and she said that I don't have enough lats. And that's why my posture is sort of whatever degrading over time. And I said, oh, I know it's really good to build lats. And she's like, what? And I was like, pull-ups. And she was like, oh, no way. I was like, yeah, this cycle, you're going to be doing strict pull-ups twice a week. They're going to be regularly in there. We're going to be really working on hanging gymnastics, building, structural stability around the shoulder girdle. You should definitely show up to Tuesdays. And she's like, oh, sweet, I will. And like, she got really excited about it. So it's like, that's all it takes. Like,
yeah. I mean, the 9 a.m. class, I told them, and I was like, it's a small study, but they ran the study, and I'm sure if they ran it again, and they did muscle biopsies, but it was a comparison of male to female in a training program for pulling. And like, what's crazy is like, you have a female talking about their lats getting bigger. Women typically have to do 3 times the amount of training that the male counterpart would do to get the same adaptation. So it's like, even you guys are doing it Tuesday, and it's a small study, and I'm sure like you could find other ones and you could pick it apart and everything else. But at the end of the day, it's just, it does show that like you have to do more work, and you guys are only doing it Tuesday. And so like, I think that's where
it was Tuesday, and now I'm writing it in twice. It's going to be Tuesdays and Fridays.
But yeah, like in general, how many CrossFit gyms like do that at all, you know, or like the one time a week? And it's a crazy thought process. Cause like even this, it's like, okay, you have the one, you know, oh, not CrossFit one. Where's the one where they said jinx? It's like, oh, tell them if they don't, they'll still suck at the skill in the open. And like that does motivate some people. So like there is a performance carrot out there to push on people with, but like the health component of it too, it's like, how do you get people to understand that value? Because I don't think they can get over their frustration to see the value of like doing pull-ups. And I mean, we can hone in on the gymnastics all day, but like same thing's true for squatting. Same thing's true for zone 2 running. Same thing's true for, you know, having a total body of fitness that is balanced and required, you know, by nature, not like any other thing. Because if you sit behind a desk and you're sedentary, like you need all those characteristics. And if you want to boil it down and make it simple, you could use the 10 general physical skills and like CrossFit uses. And if you're missing one, we all know that you have a hole in your body of fitness. And so it's just a crazy thing of like, I look at High Rocks training or Burn Boot Camp or these other things, because I'm sure, Harley, you guys have programs that you look at and you're like, yeah, there is missing pieces here to create, you know, balanced human being. And then there's programs that like the CrossFit style one that has more balance and also probably has its trade-offs as well.
Yeah, one of the things that I have not fully implemented yet, and I go back and forth on if I should, is true variance across the week. And in the sense that like I keep talking about like, oh, we're gonna do this on Tuesdays and Fridays, and we're gonna do squatting on Mondays, and we're gonna do clean and jerks on Wednesdays. And it's like that's all well and good, but like the reality is that I think that for those people who are genuinely avoiding Tuesdays out of the fear of gymnastics, it's like they should just have it be varied across the week and like not have their plan, not be able to plan around what they don't like. Right. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if that would hurt or help the community, but I have gone back and forth in that in my own thought process. But for now, because it's what they know, and I don't want, dude, we're already stirring the pot so hard in that gym that I don't want to like do too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about it too. I mean, just for my own fitness and everything else, but then I like, you know, you talk to some of these members in here and uniquely so many people are struggling with different characteristics and desires and doing the class at 9 and just really breaking down the pull-ups and then having other independent conversations about things that people are lacking in or why they're lacking it. It's like sometimes you could just spend an hour talking to somebody about their fitness and you find out so much stuff about, you know, what they are missing, they care about, what they want to achieve. And it's pretty crazy that with all the fitness classes, all the Instagram posts, everything, that is still a mystery. And I know that, like I say this a lot, it's exercise science. It is a science. So there is a lot of information there that you can't argue, but then there are things where it's like, how does your body respond? What do you specifically need to do? Where do you need to start with things? It's pretty crazy to think about. And I was thinking if anybody cares about CrossFit anymore, only because I know that I can't think of another fitness program that cares as much as CrossFit cares about people. Mm-hmm. And when we see the benefit of going into a CrossFit gym, like I just don't, it could be a terrible CrossFit gym compared to an Orange Theory. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I've had experience. I was a Lululemon ambassador. So I've gone to multiple fitness classes and met these trainers and coaches and stuff, and they're great and they're enthusiastic about it. But the ethos and the care within a CrossFit gym is like CrossFit gyms care about people. And I kind of wish more people cared about CrossFit to get a full training program, or even the gym that Harley's like at. Like I would consider your gym a CrossFit gym. I know you guys like they dropped the affiliate in the name, but that's just a brand.
They were never an affiliate.
Oh,
That's why. Like I'm like, yeah, we're not saying we are.
well, the one that they bought though, the original
Wasn't
place.
an affiliate.
It wasn't? Oh, crazy. All right, sick. Either way, I know that you're in there and you care, and you come from the CrossFit world.
I care. I care a little bit. And I think that people in general care about well-rounded fitness. What I don't think they care about is the packaging.
What
do you
That's why. Well, the same explanation I said earlier about how people will leave a CrossFit gym, go to a group class at Lifetime that is a mixed modal class that may or may not be better or the same than they were at, or worse, but they get nice amenities, whatever, and they can still get well-rounded balanced fitness, get in, get out, and they don't care about the why. They don't care about the community. They don't care about the culture because maybe their culture was broken of what they left. And my point is that I think that most people, when everything else is stripped away, you lose the passionate environment, you lose the connection to community, and everything else is broken. They're just going to look at what they can get the most stuff for, like what they can get the most for their dollar. And you can do a lot with your dollar in that regard. Not saying it's better, not saying it's the right choice. What I'm saying is I think that's what comes down to for people.
Yeah.
Is that they don't care how it's packaged. Some people really do, but I think some people really don't.
Yeah, like Cody's comment. Lit takes high intensity out and puts in low intensity, so you feel better about fitness. They care the most. And he says, to be honest, I don't know what they do.
Well,
packaging.
I've been living that low intensity life, and I'm hurting. Whenever I jumped into class yesterday, it brought a little intensity, and I was hurting.
Problem is, you did so much intensity in your life that you reap those benefits of training.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas like people need, like you can do that. You can ebb and flow through the intensities and everything else because you've built the foundation and the base. And I think that's something that people also miss is like we have people come in who like need way more high intensity or they need way more lifting than they've ever seen in their entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really have the time for that. They don't, because they're full-time jobs, everything else, they're coming for the hour, but they don't have the luxury of like you or I, or like Heather and Tyler, because they haven't done this stuff long enough.
Yeah.
So that's what's hard too. And I see that. But well, the other thing I was thinking is if you didn't do CrossFit, what would you do instead?
I'm doing it.
You still do CrossFit though.
That was a joke.
You just jumped into class and hurt.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
You're still doing CrossFit. Okay,
yeah, I said so I told my mom this. I said something like, if I wasn't training to compete, I would probably train differently. And she was like, what does that mean? And I said, I'd probably do more balanced strength training, like not focusing on barbell cycling quite as much, not as much Olympic lifting, not as much maxing out, but I would just do well-rounded balanced strength training. I'd probably do a little bit more cardio, and I'd probably jump into a CrossFit workout like a couple times a week. And I probably would do less Metcons essentially. And if you look at my training since July, it's probably actually reflects that pretty well, which I'm like, oh, hey, at least I was consistent. But I think about that conversation. That was a conversation I had about 2 years ago with my mom when I started personal training her. Because I said, like, training to compete is not training for health. And she was like, what do you mean? And that was my explanation. But really all it comes down to is still constantly varied functional movements performed at relative intensities. I'm just choosing to lean in more to single modality days and efforts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you still do CrossFit.
Correct.
So if you didn't do CrossFit, you would still do CrossFit.
Because, and I've had this conversation with people at the gym quite a bit because they're like, oh, we don't do CrossFit, or like, I would just go to, I just don't want to go to.
I was out there, psych, joke's on you.
Like, joke's on you. I was like, CrossFit's done a phenomenal job at defining themselves in an all-encompassing way. Everything is CrossFit.
Yeah. So bring the intensity down, bring the volume down a little bit.
I could disagree with that a little bit, but yeah.
Well, I meant like
within the context of the gym that you're in, yeah, I agree.
Correct. That's
But,
what I
there-
meant.
you
No,
could-
there are plenty
yes,
of
but
there's
better not
plenty
CrossFit.
of well, is it, everything it falls within a component of CrossFit. And so within the gym that I'm at, they were like, well, I like this way better than CrossFit. And I was like, can you define how this is different than CrossFit? And then no one can. And so I love that.
Wait, yeah. So you're doing more CrossFit. CrossFit believes that you're doing more CrossFit because you have single modality days.
Correct.
Well, it's specific. I agree.
Yeah, because I'm more pure. I'm more Puritan. I'm running 5Ks
more
quarterly.
Pure.
Puritan? That's not the right word.
I don't
More
know.
pure in my that's
Purist.
not the right word. Yeah,
He's, more,
purist.
he's a purist in CrossFit.
A Puritan is, I think. Anyways, I'm not gonna.
Just
rant
don't.
on that.
Here's the thing, because I did bodybuilding and then before CrossFit, and then I did martial arts and the gymnastics stuff, and like segmented. Obviously, I don't think I could go back to bodybuilding. I don't like. I really don't like doing 3 different curl machines. I do enjoy doing like the hammer strength machines and doing like a bunch of chest press at different angles. That was one of my favorite days when I did chest days, and I would use the hammer strength. And I like delt flies, but like other than that, I mean, there's obviously certain movements, but that's the same thing with CrossFit. But I just don't think I could go back to that like segmented training.
Yeah.
And I would have a similar body aesthetic. That's the other thing. Like if I did that training and ate the way I ate, and I do CrossFit training and I eat the way I eat, I think I would have a very similar body aesthetic. So like the word bodybuilding,
You would probably have a better aesthetic doing CrossFit
for sure. That probably
because of the doses of intensity and the mixed modal setting.
Yeah. But the athleticism, like being an athlete my whole life, I want to still like, I like I do single leg box jump overs. Like I don't put my other foot on the box when I'm training. Like you're supposed to put both feet on the box and step down. I do this thing where I jump over, I put one foot on the box and swing the other leg down. It never really touches the box. And I do like a
Cheater, no rep.
Cheater. Yeah, it is a no rep. It looks sick though. It's very
It looks so cool.
I do like the aspect.
Good.
It makes me feel great.
All right.
But
Speaking of bodybuilding, we have that belt squat machine at this gym.
Yeah.
I set an incline bench in front of it. I put a band around the weight rack. So it's a banded tricep extension, and I do skull crushers on that.
Nice.
Dude, that thing is aggressive. It left me sore for like 5 days.
Yeah.
Because I did burpees after it. So I did that as like
so now we don't know. We don't know if it was the belt squat or if it was the combination.
Well, I went banded bench press for volume, banded skull crusher for accessory, and then a 40-minute AMRAP with some burpee broad jumps. And I was so sore in my triceps for like 5 days.
Nice.
Dude. Yeah, I don't know. But I look at that and I think about those things, and I would like Harley, I would change or like the LIT program. I do like bringing down the intensity and just doing stuff for volume, but I definitely would not change like the mixed aspect of things. And especially since I have all the skills, because I think that's what bothers a lot of people. You know, like we're talking about the pull-ups in class, like I can do all the gymnastic skills, and it's just the relevance of the volume or your capacity but you can still have a good time and gamify fitness. So I would have a hard time doing anything else than CrossFit. But I was just thinking about how like I didn't want to do it today. And when I think about that, what crosses my mind is like, what would you do?
Yeah.
Like, what would you do?
What I was going to say though, is like listening to everyone's like explanation of like what they would do and coming to the conclusion that we're all still doing CrossFit in some way or form. It's like, well, what's the point? Well, what's the thing in CrossFit? How do I say this? That we're trying to get away from, or that we feel like
pain and suffering.
So
100%.
That's what it is. It's the too much intensity, too much volume. That's what we're trying to cut out, right? Like, is that what?
I'm fine. I like the volume. Harley, do you like the volume?
I like volume. I'm fine with building volume and training volume.
Okay. Well, because
a couple of CrossFit. Go ahead, Heather.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what are people struggling with in CrossFit who've done it for a really long time that maybe feel burnout about it and want to do something else, but it still ends up being CrossFit? Like, what's the piece that they're trying to get away from? I guess it's just the intensity.
Intensity or skills.
Yeah.
I would say most people. I'm just trying to get away from the intensity.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
A lot of people don't like to hurt.
This is what Harley wants to argue. I'd argue intensity piece would affect aesthetic. Wouldn't affect the aesthetics that much. Meaning I'd look better CrossFitting than I would bodybuilding. And
No,
go ahead, Harley.
I think he was
I can rip
saying the
this apart
opposite.
too. Oh, you
I think he's addressing what I said was that I think that your aesthetic in CrossFit would probably be better than bodybuilding or
Mhm.
as good as bodybuilding because of the mixed modal intensity. And from my perspective, I think that the compound lifts and natures of moving through a wide variety of movement patterns, especially complementary movement patterns, would still give you a better aesthetic because of caloric expenditure and time at higher levels of power output. Don't get me wrong, you can develop hypertrophy in more controlled sets with lots of rest and you can still gain muscle mass. But I think that you metabolically would retain a lower body fat percentage if you trained high volume CrossFit on a regular basis, even if the intensity is lower. It's not about the intensity, it's about the mixed modal and sustained power output.
Well, it's also the byproduct of intensity too,
Which is yeah, exactly. It's about the average power output across your session rather than like whether it's CrossFit or bodybuilding.
Well, also mechanical tension doesn't have the uniqueness that like intensity does on muscle glycogen and
Correct.
insulin regulation. So sure, building more muscle helps regulate insulin throughout the day, but intensity can help regulate insulin in the moment. And then also like deplete your muscles of muscle glycogen, which then gets the body used to moving glycogen around appropriately from fuel, the food you eat. So arguably, if my diet stayed the same in both scenarios of bodybuilding and CrossFit, I should look better scientifically in CrossFit than I would in bodybuilding if I'm doing enough intensity.
Correct. And so back to his response here is I think you could push higher hypertrophy. Is yeah, for sure. I think you could build greater muscle mass.
I'm gonna cut him off. Dr. Mike has done anabolic steroids and TRT, bro. Like, come on. He's
and as a nutrition machine.
Yeah,
and
he's
as a nutrition
I'm sure he knows.
Oh my God.
Like,
dude, I would love to look like Dr. Mike, bro.
So all things created equal, bodybuilding Todd, same diet, CrossFit Todd, same diet. I think he would actually have a better and or a more lean physique doing CrossFit.
CrossFit's given up. He's given up.
Not with that. You can start taking steroids, Todd. That might help. All right. Then the other thing he said was power curve of bands backwards, hardest portions at extension and lockout, etc. Muscle growth. So with up higher.
Oh,
he's talking about banded because I was like, oh, I did banded this, banded that. Yeah, I wasn't saying that the banded skull crusher was going to give me hypertrophic effects or better hypertrophy. What I was working on lockout. So I don't know if you know this about me, CrossFit, but my wingspan is 6'4" and I'm 5'10". So I've never been good at pressing and my triceps are relatively deficient. So I do accommodator resistance. First strength in bench press is probably going to help me because I'm weak at pressing in general. That said, it will help me neurologically to improve my rate of force production. And then from there, doing a banded skull crusher is going to help me at lockout because it is, to your point, the heaviest at extension of the elbow. So I was trying to improve that quality, not make my triceps bigger because I'm always going to be small.
But it could get bigger in the process of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's still loading the triceps. So whether it's going to maximize hypertrophy or not, sure, it's probably not. Is it still going to help my lockout and long head of the tricep? Probably.
Do you think you've hit your genetic capacity of size?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think so.
For sure.
Like without drugs, I don't think.
I'm not getting bigger at 31 years old, for sure.
You're still pretty big, dude. Don't listen to CrossFit.
Wiry.
He's never seen
wiry.
He might have. Who knows?
He's never seen me from the torso down in my stand-up. You don't know what's going on.
What would you take out of CrossFit? Or what do you love about CrossFit? Well, Heather, what would you take out?
What would I take out?
Yeah, what would you take out of your training? If you could delete one thing and it wouldn't,
you already know
it wouldn't change. Yeah, but they don't know, and it wouldn't change your physical fitness. What would you take out?
Well, the ring muscle up, obviously.
So gymnastics.
Yeah. Well, gymnastics. Yeah. Because you asked me what I would do if I didn't do CrossFit. And my easy answer to that was, well, first I said running, and then you were like,
I was
blue.
shocked.
I know. I'm enjoying it. It's good. And then I would do like Olympic lifting, or kind of like what Harley said, with just like general strength training. I don't really enjoy the G part.
No G's for
I
Haley.
love the G's.
Only the OGs.
I mean, I'm okay at gymnastics, but it's
Like-
not my favorite.
Like, I'm acknowledging how little gymnastics I've done in the last 8 weeks, and it makes me feel like I need to do more gymnastics. So, like, I have it looming over me. I'm like, you need to train gymnastics. No
Harley's-
idea why.
He feels the pressure.
Yeah.
Feels the pressure of his total body of fitness wasting away.
I honestly think that my midline has gotten smaller since stopping CrossFit. Two reasons, probably. It's probably axial loading, a little bit less frequency of compound lifting, pulling from the floor. But I think I've done a lot less kipping volume. And I think the eccentric load of swinging into an arch position with power has actually made my midline a little bit smaller, which I find interesting.
You'd have to test it now.
Just
Yeah.
do a cycle of just like a ton of kipping gymnastics and see what
I
happens.
was gonna say keep it out because you've already made the waist smaller. You kept it out, so just add more axial loading and see what happens.
Should I do a powerlifting cycle and try to get super strong?
Yeah, why not?
Because I'll just break. I don't know.
Whatever. You
I
got
could do a waist trainer.
nothing to lose. A waist trainer.
Yeah, I
Check
could do wear like a corset and like
The waist trainer.
Well, are you done doing all your biking and all your aerobic stuff?
I'm gonna go to Toronto this weekend. Todd, are you coming?
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
When are you getting there?
I don't know. What day do you guys, or what time do you guys race on Saturday?
Like 7 p.m.
Really?
Dang.
Really?
That's when the outline for the men's pro doubles is. It's like starts at 7 and the
When you
last
guys
heat's
check
like
in?
7:45. What?
When are you guys gonna check in?
No, I don't know. We land on Friday.
Okay.
Are you staying the night there, or are you just gonna drive there and drive back?
Well, just drive back.
Fine.
I mean, I can
It's a late night drive for you.
I could stay. I could
Well,
drive.
my flight out of there is like 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jace is flying out at 10 a.m.
I don't know if I'm gonna be gone that long.
All right.
7 p.m. Ugh.
That's my
If you
thought.
bring your passports, I could drive you over the border and drive you back.
How does that make any sense?
I don't know, just for funsies.
No, I'm good. I think I have to bring my passport anyways because I'm flying there.
Oh, that's true. You're going into Canada.
I just realized that today. I was like, oh shoot, I need a
Woo.
passport.
That's a good call. I'm glad we got on this
You
call.
better check that. You better check that it's still valid.
Oh yeah, dude.
Mine is.
Mhm.
That went on my
I know
honeymoon.
somebody who did that.
Zing.
Yeah, we have a story about that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess from our comments, people still do care about CrossFit.
That's good.
I was just wondering. I've wanted to quit CrossFit today, so I thought about it. And then also quitting the gymnastics, I was like, is this even necessary? But people had a really good time and learned a lot and enjoyed it, which made me like that. I just waffle back and forth, but I always wonder what is this. I guess everyone's gonna have their reason. And like Charlie had a good comment in here of like, people getting started and just trying to be in it. It's like, why do people not come to class, or why do they miss training other than life stuff getting in the way? Because that obviously does, but just general motivation and everything else. I wondered if it was like the program itself. But I guess I think we'd have to get somebody on here who like coaches Burn Boot Camp or something and see
For
what
sure.
they have to say. Does anybody know?
I think one thing that is undervalued is practice. I think a lot of people, when just talking about like pull-ups and like gymnastics, I think a lot of people, like, even if you do like a cycle of back squats, people, they can feel the work being done week to week with a squat. Whereas like practicing a skill like that, you don't see it, or you don't even really feel it from week to week. So they'll come in all super engaged on that first week, and then the next week it's like, well, we're just doing the same thing over and over again. It's like, well, that's because that's how you make this work. And I think people don't value the value of practicing.
For sure. And then, so you're talking about qualitative and quantitative measures, right? So like
Mhm.
gymnastics is super qualitative in nature, for the most part, especially when you're learning the skill. back squats, even if you're super weak, like if you're just starting, you go from an empty barbell and you get to put 5s on it the next 2 weeks later, you get to put 10s on it 2 weeks after that, like, or faster even. It's like they get to see quantifiable gains if there's more on the bar. Like for gymnastics, and especially skill development, that's not, to your point, that's not the way that goes.
Yeah.
Well, I did show them today because I put the key in our training of what Rogue has on the Rogue's website for their pounds of assistance with the bands, which I think was really illuminating to a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually a really valuable like display. As long as the bands are relatively sound in integrity.
We replace them all the time.
Yeah.
I know you do, but I know that
other gyms, yeah.
Some gyms don't.
And I did explain how they can create a linear progression for themselves, because they're not going to always have a coach, but it's like, hey, look, if you're using the green band, which is like 40 pounds at stretch, and you add 10 pounds, now you're at 30 pounds, which means you could probably move to the blue band, and like you could move yourself up progressively to get to a point where you're like not using a band at all by adding weight to yourself, which seems counterintuitive, right? Because you're using a band and then you're going to add weight to yourself when you get proficient at that band and stay with the same band and add a little bit of load. People are like, why would I do that? It's like, so you can go to the next band.
Yeah.
Because the bands themselves are big jumps.
Yeah.
How about, so in our gym, our rig is set up more like power rack stations. So there's 3 uprights. It's not just 2. There's like 1 here, right?
Yeah.
So you can do banded stuff, and like it's just the way it's set up. So I thought of this the other day. Since that upright on one side of the rig is forward, you can set J hooks or pins with bands, and you could raise a target higher and higher for toes to bar. I was like, sweet. We can create a range of motion target and linearly progress that over time. And then all they have to do is just know what hole is their hole for a period of time. And then ideally just tick that thing up over time.
That's going to be the hardest part.
Is for people to even
remember.
I mean,
don't even remember what their 1RM front squat is.
Yeah.
I know. What hole am I on?
I don't know, dude. Just try one.
Figure it out.
Yes, that's great.
I like to use my hand or a PVC pipe.
You could do like what you do
poor
with like
man's.
kids when you like measure their head, like just put like a little tape mark, like who's up the hole.
You have like 100 different pieces of tape mark with people's names on them. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Or you color code them.
I've always said that they should color code those
I'm
things.
on blue.
No.
Yeah.
The holes? No.
Yes, because
I mean,
it's
if
so
they had a
hard to
nice
line up
number.
J hooks.
Your gym's gonna look real terrible.
I'm just saying.
For sure.
you know?
It's worth it.
Just remember it. Be an adult. You're an adult human being.
If you care about your process, you'll
I
remember.
give too much credit.
Yeah, if you're gonna get mad and be like, Coach, I don't see any progress. Well, you should have remembered what hole you were on. It's your own fault.
So I said something about
Like
progressing load week to week, and I said that in front of a member, and they're like, I'm not supposed to remember what weight I used, and I was like, I'm sorry, what the fuck is your problem?
personal responsibility here. You know?
Wait,
Yeah,
what
but
else?
everyone in the room looked at her like she was psychotic, so which I loved because I was like, I'm not the only one. We're good.
Wait, did you ask like, well, why don't you?
Yeah, no, I was like, no,
What
you
is
should. I was like, why don't you? And she was like, because I have other things in life to worry about. And I was like,
That's fair.
well, it's not
You
really.
guys have
Again, if you care about your process, you're going to care about the details.
does she complain about her progress?
No.
Oh, well, then it's fine.
Oh, she's fine. She's totally fine.
Does-
From a
did you
personality
do,
standpoint, she is not a problem member at all. Like,
Does your gym
super easy.
have like a notes section or like a WOD tracking or like
Train
weight?
heroic. Yeah.
Okay,
Super,
so-
pretty detail oriented. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so she's
I was
got,
like, you can
you're being lazy. Pull it up for her on our phone. Let me see your phone.
just
Let's
do
pull
this.
Yeah, Kathy, they had the rig with the holes, the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those rigs. We have the rig we have. They're also more expensive, which is weird. But yeah, the numbers would be nice. But to Harley's point, if they're not even writing it down, who cares if you got numbers on the rig? I'm at a 43. Yeah, sick. Yeah, there's lots of ways you could quantify gymnastics, though, specifically in CrossFit. But yeah, it is tough. It's way more tough than the gratification of barbell strength. And
Have you seen talking about linear progressions for toe to bar? I saw a gym that had lines on their wall across from their rack that you
just
try
line
to cover
toes.
up your toes over that target line. So from your visual, you
Yeah.
want to get over like line 3. And then like
Then you have lines on your wall.
that's what I said. Well, that's stupid. I mean, it's
What
a
if you just
creative
make
idea.
Aesthetic, like you have like some wood panels.
Or like on
something.
toes to bar day, you just roll out the thing.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what those are called. The projector white backdrops,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Funny.
the overhead
I like
projectors.
that Todd had a sound effect for that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Nice.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad people still care about CrossFit.
Yeah, I like CrossFit's comment. He's like,
Yeah,
we have a very unbiased audience here.
CrossFitters care about CrossFit. Well,
It's
no,
crazy.
I mean, this is true. We are very biased, but I do see people who've like, let's say, left CrossFit. I mean, even Cody joking about LIT program, like even though the intensity is lower, they're still doing the characteristics of CrossFit. They've just pulled out some of the harder skill gymnastics like pull-ups and toes to bar, and instead they do sit-ups and bent over rows. But they're still generally getting the same thing. And the program design itself, when you look at it, is still CrossFit. They have AMRAPs and rounds for time and everything else. So they're getting that piece of it. They're just instructing people to moderate their intensities based on how they feel for the day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it is still CrossFit. And then I watch people on the internet that I know that have done CrossFit for a long time, or, you know, dip in and out. And then you watch them on their Instagram, like doing CrossFit in the global gyms and stuff. And you're just like, man, you just, yeah, just, it begs the question, is it like the only way? Is there another way to get fit? Like, do you guys think there's another way to get as fit as like through CrossFit?
Can you
Or is there a
define
different
fit?
way?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm gonna,
Yeah.
if we go by CrossFit's
Okay.
definition of
Having
fitness,
having
no.
the ability to do a multitude of tasks, a range of tasks. I'm trying to like remember the Webster's dictionary, but having the ability to do a range of tasks and or activities that you are not challenged with in general. Because like name something right now, Harley, that you would struggle with physically out in the world of an activity like rock climbing, pickleball, biking. Like I would argue that most of
I mean,
us,
rock climbing because my hip mobility is so fucking poor.
if you are on the CrossFit program, you should be. It's one of the 10 general physical skills.
No, I know, but like I know when I was a high level CrossFitter, I went bouldering with the TTT group in an indoor climbing gym, and the hardest part for me was abducting my hips in flex position, like a frog position, to get my hips closer to the wall.
Just like
Like-
a sandbag over the pull-up bars.
Dude, shut up. Why? Like, really, the only portion of that my hips looked tight was pulling the bag from the floor. Yeah, but that's how my back would have looked a year ago. Like, it's just
Still
the
tight.
low flex
Still tight.
position. Anyways,
I died.
I sent Todd a video of me trying to do a fucking sandbag over a pull-up bar.
And I was like, why are your hips so tight?
And I was like, because that's how my hips be, dude. They be like that. They've been like that. They are like that. They will always be like this.
It was a good sandbag over the bar though.
Dude, it was hard. That movement is
So-
tough.
I was so like just it overshadowed his hip tightness overshadowed everything about that video.
Anyways,
I
yeah,
couldn't.
I think that generally speaking, for me, things that are challenging either require, I don't know, man. Like, I think that I'm relatively coordinated in a lot of things, other than like if I don't have a range of motion for a given activity, which would be like yoga, movement guru type movement and fluidity, and rock climbing, things of that nature. Things that are really high don't bode well with me from a vertigo standpoint. I apparently have that whenever I go to like overlook hikes and stuff. I get like weird like visions things. So like from a physical standpoint, I can do a lot of things fairly well, but I think that's from years of training fitness, like,
Yeah.
which is the beauty of CrossFit. And that's kind of, I am assuming the point you were going to get at is that if
You think the top 25% of people who make it into quarterfinals could say the same thing?
no,
Really?
I've seen really, really uncoordinated people who are mediocre.
Sure.
at CrossFit.
Sure, that's true. Okay, so how would you train athleticism then for people like that? if that's like what they're lacking, or like versatility.
All right, I'm gonna pick on CJ now, just because I know what you have written for her. There's been many a nights when I have come home to the garage and she's trying to do a 360
Yeah.
in the air, and she can't do it.
Interesting.
And she is a phenomenally fit and relatively coordinated person, but for some reason, spinning through space is not her forte.
No ice skating for her, which is interesting because she played hockey.
That's my thought. Like, how can you not do a 360?
Yeah. Even just learning on hockey skates, I feel like.
For sure.
Interesting.
No, there's a lot of people who
I've seen her do them. They're not like you, twinkle toes, all right? But I've seen her do them.
Dude, you're twinkle toes. You can do like a standing split toe touch jump, whatever the hell that thing's called.
Yeah, it's the years of martial arts. That wasn't
do one
CrossFit.
right now.
No. You sound like the youth development kids. They always ask me, can you do this? Can you do this? I'm like,
do a flip right now.
No. Too old for that.
So I was at NC Fit.
25% of people can't be athletic. Got it.
I was at NC Fit and someone said something about doing a backflip, and I was like, I can do that. And I pulled out a box and just threw a backflip. And they're like, what the fuck? Why'd you do that?
Like off a box.
Yeah. They're like, we didn't even ask you to do that. Jace can do a 360. That's crazy.
In his living room.
In his living room.
He wanted to try it. He didn't know if he could. The best one is we got that. Nice. I've done like 360s over boxes before. Like just walking through the room. And like when the boxes are out, just got to practice sometimes, you know, keep the skills sharp.
Yeah. How do you develop athleticism? At what age? That was your question a second ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I just was thinking about it because I do think CrossFit training versus like obviously Orange Theory is a good. Do you think at 45 helps develop athleticism?
No. If CrossFit doesn't develop greater athleticism, then
dude, Renato, don't tell everybody my secrets. Using tennis balls in class.
Yeah, you can develop hand-eye coordination by doing jumping or with tennis balls, throwing, catching, etc. You can do jumping, plyometrics, change of direction work, etc. My question was, at what age is there a diminishing return on that learning curve, and why?
I would say none age. I would say the speed would diminish, but I said this. What did I say to Marissa the other day? I was like, I forget what age group it was, but I was like, no, give me any 50-year-old in the gym. I could get him inside the top 25% of like to get into quarterfinals. But I think like, because we were arguing something similar, but it was more like to the 25%. Yeah. But I think you could get any human. Just depends on the time you're saying, but I think you could get like a 90-year-old person. They're just going to move a little bit slower. Because I've had actually Priscilla talking about the tennis balls. We've done lateral tennis ball throwing, and she's caught the ball and moved and has like never been an athlete like that. So I don't know. I think it's a strong challenge, but I think it doesn't change. I think you can lose it, but I'm pretty confident you can regain it.
I agree. I wasn't asking that to say that there was. I think that and I said, and why? And I think that where I was getting with that was the willingness to learn, the willingness to do it. Mm-hmm. I think at some point people, again, we talk about like a lack of care, a lack of interest to pursue higher level things. You know, that's when that's the limiting factor. And it's a them problem, or their complacency is the issue. So I think for anyone who wants to continue to learn things, become more athletic, become more coordinated, faster, stronger, more stable, etc., sure, I think you could do that at any point in time. From the current state that you are, you can improve. But the degree at which you can improve probably goes down over time. The rate at which you improve probably goes down over time based on learned movement restrictions, movement patterns, coordination, and or like injuries over lifespan. Yeah, that kind of sums it up.
Yeah, you don't want to be taking like line drive, short stops, throwing to first base with 70-year-olds. But
what?
I think if you like use the wiffle ball, you might be able to achieve it.
I said this one the other day as well because I was asking about a member about their time sprinting, and then they said, "Oh, I strained both my hamstrings," because they went to the track with another person, did some sprinting sessions. I was like, "How are those sessions are going?" And they're like, "Double hamstring strain." I was like, "Oh, no way." I was like, Peter McMillan talks about tissue integrity, and if you don't train sprinting or progress back up to it in a very methodical way, if you just go 0 to 100, your tissues probably aren't going to be tolerant to that speed and force production.
Right.
And that person's like, I don't believe that. I don't want to accept that that's true. And I said, well,
Yeah, I didn't say you couldn't build it back.
Yeah, correct. And so my response was, you don't want to accept that it's true that it happened to you? I was like, you just told me that it happened to you.
Right.
I was like, that doesn't mean you can't get back to it. That just means that if you go from the couch to sprinting, you're probably not going to be in a good spot.
Right.
I like Jason's comment. I think that builds character.
No, I didn't want to promote violence. Dude, like a piece of dust got in my throat. Something happened. That was weird.
Dude, I picked up dumbbells to do a bench press or something the other day, and a speck of rubber fell into my eyeball.
Oh,
Ooh. It made me real nervous for a second. I got it out. It was fine. But it was like a speck. Like you could see it on my finger. It was bad.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the sprinting conversation is actually really good because he's got a whole episode on it.
Yeah, with Andrew Huberman. He did a really nice interview, and then they did some shorter clippets from it that are really nice if you don't want to sit there for 3 hours. It was super extensive.
Yeah.
But valuable.
You do have to train. It's like snatch, clean, and jerk. Like you have to keep training it. And not to say that you couldn't, like, let's say you get a top end speed and you stop doing it. You just need to progressively rebuild it.
Yeah, I mean, he just talked about skipping and then striding out at like relative percentages, perceived efforts of your top end.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could do it even more specific if you had a way to track your top actual real time speed. But, you know, we all know sprinting and looking at your watch probably isn't going to go too well. So,
but yeah, I don't know. So there's hope. Exercise is the way to get better at stuff generally, and movement itself. I was wondering that. I don't know. I think I got Marissa convinced because she actually said the other day that not anyone, but she's leaning more towards what I say, where like anyone could go to the CrossFit Games. I think as she coaches more people and she sees more people move and like the progression. So it's kind of cool to see that because I've said that for a really long time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't lack the hope for people's physicality and development.
I'm a pessimist.
Yeah.
So, like I agreed. You're like, yeah.
I just think it's really hard. I think that's what sometimes you get jaded by, is that like the difficult challenge. So then, and I'm just solely talking about the human being's ability to adapt minus psychological tolerances and life tolerances. I think human beings can push themselves to unknown regions. I mean, Heather and I were just talking about how like they've ran some tests on endurance, and like endurance is basically like limitless, the amount of like endurance qualities that you can develop. But what you're going to bump up on is recoverability, you know, rest, sleep, hydration, everything else.
Well, I mean, I think that makes sense, generally speaking.
Versus strength is what I'm saying. Like strength has its limiter.
I think and that's what I was going to say, is I think that it makes sense of why you can do that, because theoretically oxidative or the aerobic process and oxidative processes in the system generates the most ATP per unit of like catalyst of the chemical reaction. And that said, if you're fueling across the endurance effort, continuing to eat and consume, hydrate, etc., the only thing that's going to give way is your joints. But if you train that up over time, where your tissue tolerance is really high from a connective tissue standpoint and a cartilage and synovial like capsule standpoint, you probably can continue to operate indefinitely until sleep deprivation comes into play. Because like you start talking about those like last man standing events, and they're running for 48 hours or 36 hours. Like the world record was just broken recently, and he ran for like 40 hours. It's like,
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane.
No, I think it was longer than that.
Yeah, it was insane.
I think it was almost 4 days.
Right. So
Oh my word.
my math is poor, but you get my point.
Yeah,
He
because I looked it up recently.
I just saw him. He keeps getting like popped up on my like recommended posts.
96 hours.
I'm gonna look it up.
96 hours.
Well, that would be 4 days.
That'd be 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah, 494 miles.
So from an aerobic quality standpoint, aerobic process standpoint, there's no reason, as long as you're adding fuel to your system, why you couldn't continue to operate.
Yeah.
Other than sleep.
Crazy. It's
And
crazy.
points.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the only problem is the sample size that's really small, but it's like, well, who else is gonna be able to train that much to like prove it? Like but I mean, I think your general ability. I mean, you look at people in the CrossFit gym just across the board. Like I don't want to say the soccer moms because I hate that, but it is like the people go out for the chit chat, conversational zone 2 pace. Like they do a lot of that, and you just watch their capacity grow. And what they get limited by is strength or skill, not their aerobic development. So like
because they're spending all their time in an aerobic state and not practicing and developing strength or skills.
Right. But it's still like completely limitless in the idea. Like you brush up on just general survival mechanisms.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah, it's pretty neat.
Well, like it was funny. I mean, this is you've met my friend Raf. He sent me a post back in the day that was like, it was a little cartoon of whatever, like native people hunting an elk or something, right? And they're like hiding behind a tree, and they're like, "Remember, guys, when we chase this elk, stay in zone 2." And he was just like, the joke was that like in the real world, you're not going to stay in zone 2. And then I sent him back this like Nat Geo, like Discovery Channel documentary about these African tribal spear hunters that run down a kudu for 9 hours straight and track it until it is so depleted that it goes down and can't get back up. And then they just walk up and basically kill it like by hand, like in that moment. And I was like, what heart rate do you think they're in? Because they operated tracking this guy for for like 8 to 9 hours before the 4-legged animal is less economical energy wise, goes down, and it can no longer function because it overheats or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, I bet they're in zone 2 to zone 3 the whole time, just chilling.
Sounds like our 40-minute EMOMs. For some people.
So what, zone 2 to 3 chilling?
Bro, that's what we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. I do it. Not every time, but I do it.
Did you do it yesterday?
No, man. I was just barely in zone 4. I was mad.
Wow.
It's okay, though. The fucking dumbbell box step overs got me.
I know.
Got me.
It's tension.
Yeah.
Blood pressure.
And the Echo bike, dude.
Todd kills lions in zone 2. Hell yeah.
I mean, based on Harley's story, that would be the best option, I feel like. You wait for the lion to be tired before you take it down.
Correct.
I feel like in a lot of scenarios, that's the smartest thing to do.
It's it's a war of attrition out here. We just run people into the ground.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Jace? Jace is hanging on by a thread this week, but that's me. That's my strategy to run him down before High Rock, so I have a chance to keep up with him.
Oh my God. You guys realize you're doing it together, right? So like
he's gonna wear. I got carbon shoes.
Like regardless of anything, he has to wait for you. You get penalized if you get too far apart.
And the way that we're gonna solve that issue.
Long time. All right, tell me.
Is I got carbon shoes, and I'm gonna make him wear his weightlifting shoes. He's gonna wear lifters.
I see.
And then we're gonna meet in the middle.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna burpee till the lion quits.
Is that what's gonna even you out though? That's what you're telling yourself?
The lifters and the carbon shoes? What carbon shoes did you get?
Streak Fly 2.
I don't understand why you're going to crush Harley. He's on your team. It makes no sense.
He's going to break me.
Make it make sense.
I'm going to let him put his hand on my low back and caress me and whisper in my ear, "It's okay, buddy. Keep running." And gonna just be shoving me the entire time.
Is that what's going to
That's
motivate
good. I like
you?
that.
No, but
Oh.
he's going to put pressure on my low back, and he's going to push me for 8K straight.
Oh,
I like it. I like it.
solid.
I like that.
That little bit of feedback goes a long way, Heather.
It does work. Cody was doing it to the girls in one of their runs and like making them run at 6-minute paces. And they were like, "Oh, it's pretty easy doing that." And like Cody was like, "Yeah, for you."
I'll bring a dog collar and a leash. Oh my God.
I mean, that would be efficient, so you don't get any penalties. I forget how far. You have to look it up in the rule
15
book.
feet.
Okay.
Theoretically, it's
Like
15
a
feet.
time, so they like,
Yeah, well, it's 15 seconds, I think. Sorry.
okay.
15 seconds when you cross the like timing chip.
Typically, people stay together, so it's not even a conversation. But in this scenario,
No, we are staying
at
together, Jace. To be clear, we are staying together.
Make sure you bring a 5-foot leash.
The issue is you end up zigzagging around people a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, through the rock zone, that's where it tracks you. So it doesn't really matter. Like if he stops right before the entry point and the chip timer crossing and
I
waits.
would assume that there's still people watching. Like you're not.
You can't just like hang out right
You're
there.
not supposed to
Come on,
block
you see-
traffic.
hey, there's people watching those wall balls too, bro. Like, come on.
If you stopped in the middle, you would mess up the flow pretty fast.
No, I'm saying like right at the corner of the entry.
My point is right there. It's a pretty tight turn in. I think that you would probably mess up the flow.
Wait on the opposite side. I think
Yeah,
one
you
of
would
them
have to go across like really far away.
One of them, you should do it and see if he gets yelled at.
Nope.
Hey, you can't do that. Well, no, I didn't realize he's back there. I don't know what happened. I'm waiting. I'm sorry.
We're
Please.
just gonna stay together.
He's no
It's gonna
2
be
minute
better that
penalty,
way.
please.
He's gonna be in zone 2. He's gonna do every single station in its entirety faster than I can, and I'm gonna rest for 2 to 4 minutes at a time.
So you're just gonna run the whole time?
I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
wait
just
until we
running.
get to hear the post of this.
Why?
Well, I don't know because maybe
8
it
by
goes
1,000
differently.
meter repeats.
Maybe it goes
It's like
differently.
Tuesday.
Dude, I'm gonna work really, really hard. Put it that
Okay,
way.
good. So it'll go differently. I think we'll see. We'll have you guys talk about it.
It's gonna be fun.
Did you order that carrier?
Yeah, he found an adult sized baby Bjorn, and I'm gonna ride him.
They make those?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's cool.
God.
Some convention somewhere in the world. People are
So what you're saying
great
is
time.
that
Together.
Cody and Luca are gonna whoop you guys. That's what you're saying.
There's a chance.
maybe.
There's a chance.
Remember, just remember I said
I ran sub 6s today for my. Well, I ran 6-minute miles for my 800s, and then I ran faster than that for
Just
the.
remember I said it
pretty
doesn't matter how fit Jace is. It matters how the two people are. Remember,
Right.
I said this a while ago.
For sure. I know.
So if they beat you, just realize
They might. They're just from a.
they're the fitter pair. Okay. And
They're
Cody,
the better runner pair. Yes.
Cody, remember this. Okay. Remember this. You're just the fitter pair. All right, dude.
Yeah. Don't.
Okay,
Don't get too
ideas
excited
out
now.
here. Okay. And
All
Jace,
right.
remember, if you're not the fitter pair, it's because of Harley.
Correct. And I'm okay with that.
It may
I
not
know
be.
I'm gonna try.
Look at dude. I don't want to wish this on anybody. I'm gonna knock on wood for him right now, but he could sprain his ankle. One
Who?
can.
Jace.
Yeah, I knocked on wood though, so
Dude, he hurt his foot last week doing a rope climb.
anything could happen.
He tripped coming down a rope.
Oh no.
I mean, like that Bills game a couple of weeks ago. Anything happened. People left the stadium and they missed out on their opportunity of a lifetime because they didn't wait to the end. So play to the end. Anything can happen. All right, and one of the two pairs will win, and that's how it goes.
I can't wait to hear about it next week.
Jay said I will
Ankles.
not let them beat us. I don't know, like if you can control that very much.
I don't think he-
Like I get the sentiment, I understand, but I don't know how much that's controllable.
I like to say that I've been training faster efforts in the last few weeks in hopes that the extra oxygen down there will carry me.
That's also a valid.
So I think
You
I'll
have the doping
be
effects.
better than I mean, I'll be for sure better there than I will be here on any given day. But
And you know what? You guys might take it now. I forgot about that. Those two boys better come with their A game because it's real.
what
Blood
the-
oxygen is real.
Yeah,
Oh,
oxygen carrying capacity is super high down there.
Yeah. It's real.
It's
Real.
not so good up here, but it's okay. We'll
Yeah.
see.
That's gonna be exciting.
It's gonna be good. I got a haircut, so I got to run. But
See ya. All right, we're gonna go anyways.
adios.
People still care about CrossFit.
Yep, especially in our bias community. Love you. Bye.
We need
See you, dude.
non-CrossFitters.
Yeah.
All right, if anybody can send some non-CrossFitters our way that we could talk to, I'm still curious about this. But thanks for being on, Jace, and giving us the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 comments. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I wish there was more meat on this bone. Didn't realize we had a bias, I guess. I'm gonna think about this more. I'm really noodling it. What would be a good fitness program to try out? Let me know. Send me a message.